keep them in your prayers. We'll keep Tori in your prayers. She's not going to be with us tonight. Miss Katrina also right now has other engagements, but she'll hop on when she can. But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We are again Conversations Unfiltered. We call ourselves our Dynamic Seven. We met, through trying to build our own YouTube channel, and after that, we just became inseparable. And just like any other family, we fuss and do everything, but we love each other to death. So let's get into our panels. We got Christopher, me, Rosalita, Rosie, whatever y'all prefer, Mr. Lawrence, Prince, and Ramir. So we're going to get into our first segment of the night, which is this whole thing between Kanye West and Adidas. But Ramir, take it away.
Right.
I don't think he can hear us.
Ramir? Ramir. I think he's still having, is he having technical difficulties right now?
I believe so. I'm putting it in the chat now.
Well, until he hops on, I guess we can see where. Well, let's see if he's having technical difficulties. If he can hear us, maybe that's the issue. I don't know if he can hear us because we see him.
He's tapping now. Well, it said he was tapping, and it just went away. There it goes again.
Okay, well, while we wait for him, let's just get into the topic, okay? And he'll just jump on when he can. So let's get y'all, thoughts on this whole Kanye West accusing Adidas of selling fake colorways of Yeezys. So he's saying, Kanye saying that he is selling Yeezys for 350s in colorways he's never approved of. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a shoe, dynamic at all. So I'm not into shoes like these kids are. I just know that these Yeezys supposed to be expensive, and knowing my kids, they probably love them. But let's get on the lawsuit. So not only is he accusing Adidas, but Adidas is suing Kanye for $250 million. Now, do y'all think this is, you know, everybody know how Kanye West is? Is this something that you think like right now he's just, want to be saying something, want to do something, or he does actually have a reason to sue and to actually, bring this to the table? So let's get everyone's opinion on that. Christopher, you got opinion on it, darling?
I'm kind of dumbfounded. Hey, Adidas is suing him for how much?
250 million.
Holy crap. First and foremost, holy crap. But, I mean, think about it, though. If Adidas is a big company, like, they have money, obviously. But if they're bringing a lawsuit against him, when he's the one making the allegations against them, they must be suing him for defamation, basically saying he's false. They are real, yada, yada, yada. So it must have some headway if they're actually suing him for it. That he's just trying, and in that sense, like you just mentioned, it sounds like he's just trying to be back in the limelight somehow. And how else to do it than bring up some allegations against a big company like that?
Okay. Me, I just feel like this is another Kanye West. I don't know. I mean, if he's saying what he's saying is true and he didn't approve of it, then yes, you have a case on it. But for Adidas to come back and sue him, it's got to be something, to the story. Of course, we know Kanye West is going to say everything, but some companies is not going to really mention every single dynamic. But if they have uh, if they got their ducks in order, then I would sue too if it's not right. But let's just get everybody else's opinion on it. Mr. Lawrence, what about you?
Okay, yeah, I think I think it's a interesting situation that Kanye is in. For one thing, I just think that the whole thing is they drop the contract. Kanye have his problems with them, and now they're suing him. I just don't agree with that. I know it's a lot of madness around it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to follow it, as much as I would have liked to. But I just don't understand, the whole process of them wanting to sue him for what. I mean, it's one thing you pulled out of the deal, he lost $1 billion or whatever. But now, the suit, I just don't understand. I don't understand. So I really need to dig a little bit more deeper to figure out that whole situation. But yeah, it's very crazy situation. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Ramir, is you ready? Can you hear us now? I can see his thing off, but I don't know if he's talking.
I think he's still trying to fix it.
Okay. Well, Prince, chime on in. Come on, let's get your input.
Yeah, I'll go ahead hop on up. To be honest, I kind of agree. It's kind of an interesting situation. I think there is probably some exaggerated portions, but I don't know. I mean, Yeezys are pretty popular. So do I think that Adidas are planning on selling some of his stuff? I mean, he has been doing business with them for over 10 years as well. So that part I do think is believable, but um, the whole 250 million is kind of throwing me off too, because yeah, like y'all said, like what are they suing him for? So I don't know. It could be something, it could not be something. I just don't think that there's like enough valid information to even really take a stance on it for real.
Okay, okay. I agree. I definitely agree with you. I'm like again. I said I'm not too intertwined with shoes, and that's not my forte when it comes to sneakers and Yeezys. But the fact that this whole lawsuit, for one, the allegations of now Adidas suing him for that price, but he's saying he never approved of certain shoes, or the fact that they just went on and made the shoes and just put his name on it. It's just for one, I feel like it might be, them suing him could be because he's, coming with these allegations. We just don't know. But we'll definitely dig into more of that topic. Krista, you anything else? And Ramir, you ready? We're trying to get Ramir to come in here, but we don't know what's going on. Well, while we still wait, for him to come, let's hear our audience standpoint, on this whole thing. Let's get y'all standpoint, y'all points of views and what y'all feel about it. Can we do this while we wait? Do y'all mind?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. So whoever got some opinions, want to talk about it, share it with us. Miss Cicely, my sister, you want to share what you feel first?
Yeah, no, somebody else can go. I don't know that I really have a lot to say about Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, in this whole situation, I don't know. I feel, well, maybe I do have something to say because here I go, get ready to say something, right? But it's almost like Kanye could possibly be targeted because he is just so not afraid of what, um, how do I put this? He's not afraid to speak what's on his mind. He's not afraid to tell the truth because whatever chokehold they had to have him in, whatever position they had him in where he can't speak, or that that elite social group or whoever they quote unquote are, he's not afraid to speak up. And so he could be, being targeted in a financial aspect because of it. That is where what I'm thinking all of this is kind of stemming from. But you just never know because he's been quiet for a little while. And then he pops up with this new wife. He spoke what he spoke and then pulled out turned that whole little business upside down with how he did things, which I think he did it. It was brilliant how he moved. If you just looking at it from a different perspective, but that's what I think about it.
Okay. I definitely now understand what you're coming from. I love your points on this whole man. I love it. Who else we have up here? They want to go
Yeah,
speak
hear me?
their truth. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, they're
Yeah. So I agree with what y'all was saying earlier because it's really in this situation, it's really hard to know who's doing what or what standpoint because there's so much that's hidden in obscurity behind the actual, backstory of what's going on. But besides that, it's definitely feasible to see that they could be targeting him because again, like my mom was saying, he's not the type of person to bite his tongue. So and he was quiet for a while and now all of a sudden something's happening. So you got to kind of question why is it happening now and what's been happening before for this to be set up in a way as to why is this so important now? And in the end, yeah, he's somebody that's easily targeted because he's actually already had allegations put against him that he's crazy, that he's not the same ever since his mother died, and this, that, and the third. So he's someone who can be targeted to be discredited. But at the same time, since he's someone who will speak out, it's a situation where you will need to hear more about what's going on, or you know, how things develop from here before you can really say, oh yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, so yeah, you and Mama have a good point. I guess when we get more in detail, like again, Kanye, we know Kanye West. Kanye West can do so many, he's here, he's there, but he does speak his mind. The fact that he came out and said something about it, that he didn't approve of certain things, and then for Adidas to counterattack. So yeah, I definitely agree with, the points that y'all had. But let's get somebody else's point of view. Miss Brittany, did I say that right?
Brittany, you on mute. But I guess I'll just throw my little 2 cents in there real quick while we waiting on her. I pretty much put it in chat, but I might as well just say it. But yeah, now that I think about it, it's almost exactly the same way how Nike did Kyrie and with this whole little situation, because he's when you really think about it, he's literally the same exact way as far as like how he operates with society, and they try to label him the same way. So it's literally the same thing except for a different brand.
Okay.
It kind of makes you wonder though why they would do it to them if they're trying to get away with it, maybe because they are similar to them, but they are slightly different at the same time, just so they can make the extra money without giving them the royalties for it. Hopefully that makes
Brittany, you
sense
can
because it made
probably
sense in my head.
my bad. Brittany, you could
Oh,
check
you
your
good?
settings real quick. You might be having the same issues. Your settings might be on push to talk, so you can try to hold the little speak button and see if it lets you talk.
But just to piggyback on what you said, Christopher, really quick, that makes a lot of sense because I think it's just a ploy to. I think there's possibly a lot of money still owed to Kanye, and I think to, I guess, distract the situation, distract him from that situation, they threw a lawsuit on him because at the end of the day, it is his shoe. And I just don't understand how a lawsuit would come out of something that he created and he partnered with Adidas. I get it, but it's his design. So I just think that he got, the short end of the stick. I think it's pretty unfortunate for him, but hopefully he will come out of it. Hopefully he will prevail throughout the whole situation.
And then basically to add a little context, it's pretty much Ramir was saying in the chat. It actually had to do with a arbitration case to do with them, really with Kanye West being labeled as racist and anti-Semitic and stuff like that. I guess since that he has a contract with them, that they image is pretty much lines up with him, so that's probably why or where it stems from that 20-50 million case.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so say that again about the arbitration. You kind of lost me.
Yeah, so the case itself has to do with how he's being labeled in society, not so much as far as like his relationship with them. Just him being labeled as racist, anti-Semitic, and then just based off of some of the like statements that he would make that would be labeled as offensive and stuff like that.
Oh, got it. I mean, that would make sense because they wouldn't want to be in connection with stuff like that
Right, since he
because that
has
would
a
make them
big
look bad.
partnership. Yeah, since he has like a big partnership with them, that anything he do or anything that they look at him at, they're gonna look at Adidas at as well, because that's basically who sponsors him.
Right.
So
Exactly. It's a kind of a reflection of them, so to speak. Even though even though they don't really relate to each other, they are in connection with the shoe and the contract, so it kind
right,
of does reflect badly on them.
exactly.
Makes sense. I still can't hear
Oh,
you, Brittany.
we lost Rose. Brady, you still working on your or you still can't get it to work?
I know it's gonna sound weird, but try pressing and holding the talk button. You may have it set to talk,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That might be on
tap
push to
talk.
talk. Yeah, because I think it might set it to that by default.
I think it does. I know my cell phone does the same thing when I'm on it.
So you can try it. Let me see, because I'm not even on my phone. But I believe if you
I'm not
scroll
either. Just
down, there should be a setting. Hold on. Or swipe up, should I say? Hold on.
you should be able to just tap the screen, maybe. And it should show it. I thought. I could be wrong.
Yeah, so if you hit the three dots, it should be a voice settings. You can hit that. And then it should say input mode. and you can just make sure that it says voice activity. It might be set to push to talk. Okay, yeah, I see it. Hmm. Okay, so it's already set to that. You can try leaving and joining back one more time. See if that might work. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Let me add you back. Still not working. Oh, there go Rose.
Can y'all
Nah.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rose.
I had to,
Um,
I had to disconnect and come
Yep,
back.
loud and clear.
yeah. Brittany, try switching it to push to talk, and then try that. See if that might work.
If that don't work, try to
Oh, I seen some
log
move.
out because I had to log out. I had to restart the phone and come back in.
Oh wow, like completely restart it. Ooh, Ramir, did you try that yourself? As far as restarting the
Yeah,
phone itself?
Romeo, you could try that too. Try logging out and then signing back in.
We did have another young lady who was willing to speak. I don't see her. Oh, there she goes.
Are you talking about
Miss
Can y'all
Christina?
hear me
Christina.
now?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I can
there.
hear you
Yeah, we
now.
can hear
Okay,
you
there we
Oh,
go.
thank God.
now.
Yes, now
I
we can.
got something to say.
Go ahead, let us
I
hear it.
feel like Kanye West, he says whatever's on his mouth. Can't nobody ever keep him quiet. And I feel like this is a way for them to try to put a muzzle over him because anything Kanye speak is truth. And you can't go after somebody that's speaking truth, whether it's dealing with the industry, whether it's dealing with Adidas, anything. You can't shut Kanye West up. So what they're doing is trying to counteract him by throwing lawsuits at him and making it seem like he's delusional and that he's crazy when he's really not. He's just speaking facts. So that is how I feel. I have a lot more to say, but I'm not going to do it. But I feel like this is a tactic to try to get Kanye West to go back into his hole because when Kanye is quiet, no one has anything to say about him. But then when he comes back on the scene, that's when it's like there's an uproar. So that's how I feel about the subject matter.
And that is true too,
So
because when
someone
you
in the
think about it, every time he has something to say, it's viral every single time. Every time he does something, everybody hears about it. So I completely agree with
someone mentioned in the chat real quick, Brittany, mention how you got it to work because they were trying to do the same. I think,
I went to the settings and put the push to talk, like Gaston was
hmm
saying. Yeah.
and then it worked that way just by pressing and holding.
Yeah. And I just have to keep pressing the push to talk while I'm speaking.
you.
Hmm.
Okay, so you can probably
Interesting.
try switching it back and see if it works, because it might be, I don't know, it might be something with the voice activity where you probably just got to switch it off and then switch it back on. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I know we had two other people who wanted to share. I know Miss Murrow wanted to share. And Miss Christina, did you still want to share?
Yes, I can. I can share.
And Brittany, if you're trying to talk right now, we can't hear you. Now the question is it on speakerphone? And if it is, are you actually close to the phone? Because if not, it may not pick you up. But if you're trying to talk, I can't hear. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Okay, so mine only works when I put in for push to talk, and I'm
Okay.
actually using my AirPods. So
Oh, got
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So it
yeah.
Oh,
might just
something
be
I
the
have
voice
noticed.
activity.
Okay, now
Mhm.
that is something I've noticed also with the Discord app. If you're using the headphones, or not the headphones, like iPods or whatever, that are cordless with no microphone except for what's in your ear, it will not pick you up for some reason. I had the same issue myself a while back.
I'm using my AirPods. I've been using my
Yeah, I'm
AirPods
using.
since we started.
Yeah, it started
That's
working
odd.
when I started using my AirPods.
Hmm.
Oh, it started working then. Weird.
All right, but Miss Merle, you have the floor, and mute yourself, and then Miss Christina will have you up here as well. But go ahead, let's get y'all opinions.
Miss Muriel, you're on mute.
Should be in the bottom right corner, Anna.
I'm sorry, I'm baby boomer. I'm not up on the young man. I know of him, but not that much about him. I'm sorry, but you all are doing a wonderful job. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm listening. I'm here.
And thank you for being here like all the time. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
All right now. Did anybody, by the way, pick up my book, Story of Little Bell? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forget I said that.
No, you're good. To be honest, I was going to ask you what the title of it was because I couldn't remember.
Oh, the story of Little Bear.
The story of Little
Little
Bear.
Bear. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I'm put it in the chat.
Okay, that'll work because I was trying to find a pen to try to write it down. I can't find one.
And then Christina, you had something you wanted to say?
She put.
No, I really didn't have an opinion on the topic, but I think something worth mentioning is that Kanye has been like very vocal for years about like people's efforts to try to keep him boxed outside of the fashion industry, and so I just think it's interesting that I just think it's interesting how things play out. He's been feeling like an outsider. He's been wanting to get into fashion for years, so I just think it's interesting. I just think it's interesting how it plays out, but that's my only commentary on it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then, like I said before as well, like he doesn't follow the flock. So I mean, when you're not really a yes man and you sticking to your morals or standing on what you believe in, then it's a lot harder to get to certain places, and there's a lot of people that try even harder to prevent you from being a voice and having a platform and being where you at. So I definitely agree. Now
I
you
agree
said
with
you had
everyone.
something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go
You
ahead,
know
Rose.
what? Were you talking to me, son?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was just thinking, and it just came to me, just like you were saying, how Kanye loves like the fashion industry as I want to say almost as well as he loves doing his music. And wouldn't it be unique for them to try to create a lawsuit for him where it makes him, or almost would try to put him in a position where no one would want to touch him, or partner with him because he could be what they consider a liability. So they would try to, cut him off in that aspect as well. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It
Like,
does. That's a very good point. I hadn't thought about.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I was
Very good
like,
point.
yeah. I'm like, that's real clever because,
You know,
where's the collaborations coming from? You know, who would want to really market his name or his brand because he is he's a liability. He's this, he's that. And so they're trying to cut him off. I'm telling you, they're trying to cut him off financially in any aspect or any area they can. And they know they can't do it by talking about him because he really doesn't care. So most people say, I'm going to hit you where it hurts the most. I'm going to hit you in your pockets. But they're going to find that Kanye is a force to be reckoned with.
I totally agree with that. I think it's more of a plot to try to diminish him because of the value that he brings, and so it's a plot to diminish him. That's what I was thinking without really reading too deep into the story. Kanye is one of a kind, and he is most definitely, an outspoken individual. And when people are calling him crazy and bipolar and all of these kind of things, I think that I think personally he's a genius. I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but I think he's a very outspoken person. He have a lot to say, and I think he may have ruffled a few feathers of the wrong feathers, and now they're trying to diminish him pretty much. So I totally agree with.
Miss Cicely actually mentioning that made me think back a couple episodes to Monique, where they were doing her the same way. As far as talking about how she wasn't good to work with and how she's always this and that and the other, da 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 da. But you make a very good point, Miss Cicely. They're probably doing the same thing to him.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
All righty. I think that was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, we got the audience all chimed up with us. Okay. Anybody else got any, points of view of this whole Kanye West and Adidas matter, or do you want to, move on to the next segment? Print, Ramir, is it working? Is it still not working?
Yeah, Ramir, try switching to the push to talk and try that.
Okay, with that being said, I guess we can still, whenever he does get in, we can, if we want to fall back on this matter, we definitely can. But let's move on to the next segment. And Miss Cleo, is it Cleo? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I believe so.
Hey, Chloe.
Oh, is it Chloe?
I didn't know if it was Chloe or Cleo. I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
No,
Sorry
it say Cleo, but her name Chloe.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
Hello.
There we go,
Whoa,
my
we can hear
boy.
you. Ramir.
Yeah.
There it is.
Ramir?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, it's good to hear your voice
we can
too.
hear you. Thank you. I was like,
Y'all
look.
don't know how much of a headache this been.
We can guess.
Yes.
We missed you.
What you doing to push to talk?
No, it's working now, but it's like my volume was going like up and down while y'all was talking. So like I couldn't hear nothing that y'all was saying for a second, then I could like hear the conversation the next minute.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna work with it though. I get my laptop back Tuesday, so I'll be fine.
Very nice, very nice.
Good to hear. And then we was pretty much just finishing up the whole Kanye West Adidas segment. So if you had your, I know this is really supposed to be your thing, but if you had anything that you wanted to add or any comments that you had, you can go ahead and share it.
Um, yeah. By the way, hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Sorry I'm
Hello.
so late.
Nah,
But
you all
But you
good.
here. But you here.
yeah, I'm gonna make it work without a doubt. But speaking on the Kanye situation with his lawsuit and stuff like that, I actually seen it coming anyways because Kanye's been active lately. He's been having a lot. He throughout his whole career, he done had a lot of controversy happen between him and somebody else or another company. Um, really, it was this lawsuit really even happened anyway because of stuff Kanye did in the past that he cannot get over or people can't let go. And because of the comments he made about Jewish people, that really put him in the dirt working with a lot of companies. And I don't know why Adidas is really trying to sue him because I mean Adidas Yeezys is the most popular shoe from Adidas besides the Share Toes. So like that's just them missing out on a lot of money trying to, sue him for. Um and I do like what Kanye is doing, trying to push forward. You can be independent and still successful. I do like how he's pushing that forward because a lot of people, has to depend on the label. Which Kanye got to that point in his life where he really don't need a label to push him forward musically or you know his own brand. So that's what I had to say about that part.
So yeah, looks like that's pretty much it for that topic. And then next, what we have our segment into relationships. And Rose, you can go ahead and take over for that.
Okay, okay, okay. Give me a second. Sorry.
No, you good.
All right, so our next topic is relationships. In a relationship with yourself, as far as dating yourself, going to the movies, out to eat, and also out with others, but mostly by yourself. Now me wise, I can say a little bit my current relationship. I'm single. Um, Christopher, we'll talk about that later. Don't ask about her. But anyway, I am single now. I
Why
was.
you got to come out like that?
I'm just saying because I'm pretty sure you're going to ask me what happened, but we don't want to talk about it. So anyway,
I was already
I
sad. Now you just made me more sad. I'll explain all
but
that later.
yes, but I have to learn to actually find myself again. Being in a 10-year relationship with a person, you tend to kind of lose you into pleasing another person. So as far as dating, I am dating myself. So I have been going out by myself. I've been going to eat by myself, went to the movies by myself. And some people might find it weird, but some people don't. Um, it's just for me to loving me again, to appreciate me again. So let's get everybody else thoughts on relationships, if you're by yourself or with someone.
Well, if I'm being honest, May 2nd will actually be the anniversary of dating myself. And it's been, oh God, I think this will make 7 years that I've been single. I finally took it upon myself 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, to finally take care of me for a change. Because, like you just mentioned, you end up in a relationship where it's all about them, and it's like you don't exist anymore, basically, as a, like, you're, how to explain this? It's like, you're basically focusing on them to where you lose yourself, so to speak. And it's nice to actually finally find myself again. And I've spent the last 7 years basically only worrying about me for a change. That's what actually got me back in school. That's why I now have 2 degrees and certificate, working on a 3rd degree, and it's all because of finally dating myself, so to speak. I will admit though, I have yet to go to the movies by myself. I went out to eat numerous times by myself, but not to take out to the movies. I've got to do that yet. But that's just me.
And there's nothing wrong with, going out to the movies or out to eat. Thank you guys, Miss Brittany, Mama Cecilia. I see your comment. Because at first I
That's what I
thought
was about
it
to say.
was, at first I thought I was, being weird. And people like, really? You can go out by yourself? But I can't learn to appreciate me or love me if I don't take time for me. So me going out to dinner the other day, I'm spoiling myself on foods that I would have to past relationship I would pay for both. Um, so this time when I pay for myself, it's more what do you want? You're not gonna no limit, just go for it. If you want 2-3 entrees, go right ahead. And it just make that little bit just make me feel good. But Christopher, is definitely nothing wrong with going out to a movie by yourself. Neither you laugh, you joke, you geek, it's the same thing. But let's get everybody else's, opinions on this.
On that note, though, real quick, let me add this. That's the only thing about going to the movies by myself, though. I'm the type of person, I'll admit it, I kind of talk during the movie to whoever I'm with at the movies, and 9 times out of 10, they're the same kind of person, anyways. So people want to think I'm really crazy, is just sitting there talking to myself. Because that's what would end up happening. I'll end up sitting there talking to myself. I'm just saying. But screw it. I don't care if they think I'm crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but that's not the point. Not the point. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Yeah. I'm
Yes,
following
not
your
talking during the movie. Not talking during the movie, though. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not like the type that's like out loud yelling at the screen or whatever, but yeah. I kind of talk to whoever I'm with there. But like I said, it's just like the whisper conversation, yada yada about the movie. It's not just like, hey, how was your day today or whatever type of conversation. It's literally about the movie, of course. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, Brittany, it's Christopher, please. I know you probably forgot, but it's okay.
Oh yes, I forgot. Christopher likes to be called Christopher. But Miss Brittany, I definitely understand. I sometimes have them loud outbursts. I'm like, oh my God, girl, don't run. So don't feel bad because I be having those moments too where people like shh. But it's all fun and it's nice to get back to the laughable me and not the stressed out and I'm worrying about this person's well-being, this person's how they feeling today. If she's gonna have a bad day, what am I supposed to do? Like I have to, and some people do have to get back to loving themselves first. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you expect to love the next person? And how do you for me, I now know what I want. I want from the next relationship. I know now how I want to be treated and stuff of that nature. But let's get back to everyone else's thoughts and views about it. Chris, Premier, one of you guys.
I'll go up. I definitely agree with y'all. I think it's important. I mean, because first and foremost, I mean, if you don't love yourself, if you don't even know yourself, um, first, then how can you even do that with anyone else? So that's definitely something that I've been doing more recently as well, because I didn't always do it. But yeah, definitely just taking time out and showing yourself appreciation and just doing things for yourself. It does help out a lot.
You had something you wanted to add, Key?
Yeah. So on this note, I mean, we can go on and on, just like for any of the topics that y'all bring up. But to keep it short and simple, when it comes to dealing like with the love category, it definitely starts with self. So definitely applause to you all for Christopher Rose for taking the time to love y'all self, and that's definitely again where it starts because once one thing I found out is once you put boundaries for yourself, you ain't gonna be afraid to put boundaries for others or respect other people's boundaries. So the way you when you learn to love yourself, you learn to love others too. Because just like my pastors, they was talking about relationships and everything, but one thing they definitely bring up a lot is love thy neighbor like you love thyself, and you won't be able to love the next person if you can't love yourself, whether it be a family love, whether it be an intimate relationship love, whether it be a friendship love, like because there's different types of love. Of course, there's different levels to it, but it definitely starts with the base factor of you loving yourself, having your own morals, having your compass in place, knowing what you want for your life, and anything else is an addition because we don't come in to basically baby somebody or provide the love of a parent. We come in to provide like love in the form of support. So coming you ain't got to come complete because we all finding ourselves, of course. I don't think there's anything that's complete until we go home to meet our maker. But in this case, when it comes to coming to another person, you really have to be able to sit down with yourself and see if can you deal with your own self when nobody around. Can you deal with your own thoughts that's in your head? Can you do this? Can you do that? Because you don't want to ever reflect any insecurities or any negative feelings you have about yourself onto the next person. So kudos to you all for focusing on yourself. Keep doing so. The right person's gonna make their way to you as you make your way to them.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Oh, that was empowering. Oh my goodness. Woo. Prince, your family is just, oh my goodness. Like I just can't. With the mom, brother, everybody. Like I just can't. But I definitely thank you so much for kind words. It makes me feel even better about myself to hear that. So anyone else would like to share? I'll do really quickly.
Yeah, yes. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Lance. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to add to that as well. I totally agree with you guys. I'm listening. I'm driving. I won't be driving for another 15 minutes where I can like sit down and we can talk. But I think that I'm not the greatest in the department of love. So I'm kind of like with you guys, where right now I'm single, focusing on self, and I think that it's important to try to be the best version of yourself first so that you can be you know a better version for whoever else that come into your life. But I think that love is a beautiful thing. I think that whenever one find that love and they find happiness, I think that is one of the greatest gifts that a person can have. So I most definitely love the fact that I'm into love and I'm into loving someone else, but I'm most definitely um, into focusing on myself when when that person is not around, because it's important to love yourself. I mean, if you don't love yourself first, then it's going to be hard to love someone else. But I think love is a beautiful thing. Most definitely something that one should ultimately desire in life. So I agree with you guys totally on it. And that was a beautiful analogy, King, as well. And that's my opinion.
Okay, Miss Cicely.
Yeah, just really quickly, I want to just commend you guys for doing that and being brave enough to say that. Because Rose, when you mentioned it, I was like, wait a minute, I thought, but listen, I was there myself, and when I dated, because my children have always seen me in a relationship. And I've never really had downtime for myself. Even when I met my daughter's father, we dated, we got married, and then I had her, which is the first time that even happened. And I'm just being very transparent. I love you guys, and the truth is the light, right? And I end up leaving that relationship. Um, and it was embarrassing to me because I lived my life a certain kind of way, right? And so when I transitioned to do things the right way, I was like, God, what happened? How did this happen? Why did I get embarrassed? Why did I get hurt like this? And I was like, yeah, I won't do that again. And I stopped going to church and I just pulled back and I went back into my old relationship. You guys, and listen, for I want to say for 7 years, I was single. When the Lord spoke to me, it was like, listen, stop dead in your tracks right there. I mean, I was literally in my house thinking I'm living my best life and I'm cooking dinner for my partner and my children. And the Lord stopped me. I don't remember what my partner was listening to on Facebook. It was a Fantasia song, and it stopped me in my tracks. And I just began to weep and I cried. I could not move. And in that moment, I knew that something had to change. And it took 2 years, I believe, took 2 years. And then it got to a place where I was like, I'm not going to be in any relationship. I have to stop. And it was like I was alone for almost 7 years, but I was willing to do it. And it wasn't 7 because patience is 7. So 6 years. And it taught me to have the patience and the encouragement, to be encouraged to learn how to love myself, because we could be afraid to do that. And it also gave me an opportunity for the Lord to teach me what love really is, because sometimes we have a false idea of what love is. We don't have a real idea of what love truly is, because what the world puts out there as love is not always the case. And so I had the opportunity to have intimate time with my Father in heaven, for him to remove the ideas of what the world will try to put in my heart and in my mind as the concept of love and what to look for in a relationship. And he taught me his love. He showed me his love, which then had me given me the opportunity to learn how to learn to love myself. Right. And so I welcome that. Like, I have been single. I know that the Lord has a husband for me, even at my tender age of 50, right? But the Lord, I know he has a partner for me. And so I just want to tell you guys, be patient, because just like my son said, your mate is coming. We have to be patient. We have to be willing to go through the hard stuff, because it's teaching us things, it's building character, it's giving him a time to fine tune some things in our life. So when that person comes for us, the one who he has assigned to us, then we will be able to be and show up in that relationship who we truly are, and who we were always purposed and predestined to be. We can show up authentically, that person, us, genuinely in that relationship, and we come together and we can build and do the things that we're called to do together, but having a true self of identity and not relying on the other person to make us whole or make us complete, because we're two people coming together. And sometimes, and I know I had it too, I had an idea of like, oh, I'm half and then I meet my husband and I'm gonna be whole. No, I am whole. I am already whole. The Lord, when he made me wonderful. The scripture we were learning today, and our memory verse was Ephesians 2:12, and it talks about we're his perfect workmanship. And so I was already complete. And he's just doing a great work. So you guys embrace it, do what you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to have that perfect love. It's going to come. It is truly going to come.
Amen to that. Amen.
Facts.
Yes,
Facts.
yes.
You kind of made me think of something too, Miss Cicely, just now when you said something. Talking about how you were half and they're making you whole, but no, you're actually whole to begin with. See, that's another thing that I think also when it comes to the relationship itself. Everybody's like, oh, it's supposed to be 50-50. No, it's not. It's supposed to be 100-100, both giving it all to it, not just half of it. But that's my opinion. I think it should be 100-100, not 50-50 like everybody says.
I
I
agree.
just,
I agree 100%. I agree for sure.
I agree. I mean, I can literally say, speaking to what Miss Cicely was saying, like I had, and everyone who's been with us from day one would know my story, or a little bit of my story. I had my son super young. I had Timothy at 15. So moving forward, I was with all three of my kids had the same dad. I was with him from 14 years old to 19. And I tried to, do what I see my grandmother do. I mean, I worked, I still went to school, I helped contributed to the house. But at the end, I was still young and he was still young. And outside of us, he had other children. So my three have 7 other siblings. I did not hold grudges. I still taught my children to respect their dad. And I even go get their siblings because they got nothing to do with, grown folks things. But I had to learn to not just from that relationship, but also the last one, like I said, 10 years and being in a relationship with him, both helped me see that I need to actually really care about myself because I didn't take a break after him. I just jumped into another 5-year relationship. I jumped into another 10-year relationship. So I never had a break to say, okay, you need to be by yourself and learn to love to be okay by yourself, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. I'm right there with you. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. It does.
Samir, you said you wanted to add on to what Christopher said.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
What
Nope.
if it
No
messed
sound at
up
all.
when he left and joined back?
Could be.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
All right, what about now?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So
Yes,
There
I
he
can
is.
hear.
perfect. So adding on to what Christopher said, I'm giving it 100 and 100. That's definitely true, and I agree with that. And another thing that goes with that is realizing that every day 100 ain't gonna always look like 100, but it's somebody giving their best in that situation for whatever they're dealing with. Because we can always communicate our issues or anything, but there's still at the end of the day, which is where we're two wholes coming together to make something new. And at the end of the day, there's still going to be an internal battle that has to go on of somebody getting through that issue, and that's when that support comes in. That's still your 100. That's not you dip into, oh, I got to give 110 because they're giving 90, or but just basically the 100 and 100 also reflects somebody just giving it their best. It may not just be like, oh, they're not doing what they're always usually do. They're not giving it 100%. No, they're giving it their best for the circumstances and whatever internal battle that they're dealing with, and that's where communication kicks in.
Yes, sir. Facts. I totally agree. That's a good point.
And then Brittany, because this is actually one of your suggestions. Did you want to come up and share any thoughts or anything that you had in regards to relationships?
You beat me to it. I was about to mention that it was an audience's suggestion, audience member suggestion. Get out of my head, Prince.
Don't be shy now. Come on.
Miss Brittany, your hand up. Did you want to go?
She put in the chat that she just wanted to listen about it.
Okay.
She was like, "Nope."
Like not right now.
Right. Oh yeah, we can go to the next one. What's the next one, Rose?
All right. So the next one will be finances. With Mr. Lawrence discussing Bitcoin, the rise of Bitcoin, and such nature. So, Mr. Lawrence, you can take it away, darling.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm so happy that you all, first off, I'm so happy that you all were able to join us again for another episode. And I would like to thank everyone in the audience. I would like to thank my team, D7, for another amazing episode and you guys chiming in and your opinions and everything. So I just would like to tell you guys first, thank you. I hope everyone is enjoying their Sunday so far. It's been a very busy one for me. I'm just leaving an appointment, but I'm driving, but I'm still going to get to it and talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I would like to open it up and make it more of a discussion as well, but I just left a retirement where I retire people. That's what I do. So that topic came up regarding Bitcoin because now they're getting ready to implement some changes and adjustments where I think the FCC is getting on board, if I'm not mistaken, and so cryptocurrency will be the new future, of currency. And I think that whether we are ready or not, that is something that we will probably be looking forward to. I first found out about Bitcoin early on when everybody was talking about it. It was a really big thing, and Bitcoin was really, really low, and it was just something that was a very exciting time. I wish that I would have participated a little bit more in it early on, but you know how it is sometimes when you find out about something new, you want to check it out first before you jump into it. But my personal opinion about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is I think that it has a really bright future. Right now, I don't know if you guys follow crypto, but right now Bitcoin has risen up to around $64,000. And a lot of people have been making a lot of money off of crypto. I'm not exactly sure what the future holds for it, but I think it is most definitely a tool that is going to be very relevant in the near future. I think personally that they're going to be doing away with paper money, but it's something that everyone I think should have in their portfolio. In terms of what you are when you're looking into retirement, or if you're young and you're just looking to invest in something. I think crypto most definitely should be, one of those things. Um, I I got into Bitcoin when it was like right at the beginning. I think it was like maybe like $300 or something like that. And I was in and out. I wasn't sure about it. And next thing you know, it rose up and then it went down and it jumped all the way up to $30,000. I knew some people that was into it and they took, did really well with it. There's companies right now that are looking to add crypto to their retirement portfolio. I know someone right now that is a crypto attorney, and that's what they do. They market large companies and try to get them to add this to their portfolio. And it goes along with, other finances. There's a lot of people right now, when I retire, they want to know how they can maximize their money. Well, I personally don't suggest them to dump, money into crypto, because when you're looking towards retirement, you want to have something that is more stable, something that is more, more guaranteed. So I typically steer people away from wanting to, invest or roll their money over into these types of situations. And but if you have extra money, like if you have, if you're able to invest, and I think everyone should at some point in their life take time to put money aside for the future, which is very important, then I most definitely encourage, adding crypto to your portfolio, because, it's most definitely have been very beneficial to a lot of people. Now, what do you guys feel as far as crypto is concerned, and I would like to get your opinion on how do you guys feel as far as the future of crypto, and what do you think about it? Do you guys think that this is going to be our new future, or how do you guys feel about it? I want to open up the floor to you guys.
I guess I'll start off, since that's something that I usually partake in myself.
Okay.
I'll say that I think this is going to basically get a lot bigger than what it is currently. It's a lot of people, even though it is a big thing, it's still something that a lot of people at the moment aren't even aware of, or doesn't really have much knowledge on. Yeah, I think it's just getting started, to be honest. It did blow up quite a bit during COVID, and that's really when Bitcoin and stuff like that spiked and started becoming popular. But yeah, I think it's just getting started, and I think especially with us trying to get rid of the U.S. Dollar and everything like that, yeah, this is really just going to be the next thing up.
I totally agree. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. There's a lot of different coins out there that a lot of people talk about, and they try to push you towards getting and sitting on. And I think that I think it have a bright future. I think that it has most definitely have potential. A lot of people go to me, Prince, for advice on where should they put their funds when it comes to retirement. And I would say that I don't typically steer them in the direction of cryptocurrency, but I do tell them that you want to most definitely have your portfolio. You want to have it to where you have something that is secure, and something that is not as flexible as something like crypto, because it's a risky investment at the end of the day.
Right.
And even and I think that even though it has a really, really bright future, and I most definitely am invested in crypto, I unlike some other people that I've seen, I wouldn't put all of my eggs in that basket. But it has most definitely, over the course of, since you said, just like you say, Prince, COVID, people have made millions off of Bitcoin for sure. So it has a future, and there's a halving period that's coming up. I don't think it's here yet, but people are most definitely encouraging everyone to go ahead and invest in it because they're looking forward to it reaching over $100,000 at the latter part of this year. So
Yeah, I can see that.
I think yeah, I can see it too because just I think a few months ago it was at like 30,000. Now it's at 60, a double. And you know, I my personal experience of mine, it was really really low, like just like you said around COVID, and I said, you know what, let me just try this out, and I took a chance. I put some money in it, and it most definitely did really well. And then when it was going down, I pulled out when I should have stayed. So I made a bad decision there.
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta sit and just let it
and
do
that's what comes
what
with
it's
it.
gonna do.
Yeah,
Right, exactly. And so it's kind of one of those things. It's really important to know that sometimes you just got to sit on it and just see what it does.
yeah,
And that's a very important thing.
yeah. And that's
Um,
the thing with it as well. Like, that's just something, like you said, that's not something that you would necessarily like off back, like just put all your eggs in. But
hmm
it's definitely something that's beneficial. So
Yeah.
if you got a little extra bread here and there, definitely I would suggest just, well, first and foremost, definitely do your research on it. That's pretty
Right.
much was gonna mitigate the risk of losing
hmm
rather than um, or making money rather than losing money. And then just
Right.
being able to connect with people that's knowledgeable in that market as well is really gonna help because they'll be able to point things out and be able to mark things up as
hmm
well. And then also, yeah, research is another big thing because
hmm
basically most of it comes off of what's going on all throughout the countries, all throughout the world, not just the U.S. Anything that's going on in
Right.
England, Britain, everything. Basically, that's what a lot of the big people that make millions of dollars. That's what they do.
hmm
Whatever's going
Right.
on in a specific country, that's what they do their trades off of, and so it all correlates to
Right.
just being knowledgeable and being aware of what's going on all over.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Um, Does anyone want to add to or have any questions on it or put their opinion on this crypto crypto talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, on that case, I do have a question.
hmm
So, say, and my pastor talked about this, so you should probably invite him on there and get some words of
hmm
wisdom. But
hmm
for what we have right now, uh, when it comes to crypto, we all know that it's going to the place where digital currency is taking over, and that's going to be the primary. But if that's the case, would you say that it's sort of like we're all working on the line of credit because currency is something that we use spending because it's backed by another thing, something that doesn't change value. So if we're doing
hmm
all cryptocurrency or all digital currency, again, would you say like that's again like having a line of credit because there's nothing behind it? It's just, oh yeah, we say you have this money, you have this money. And if that's the case, what do you think they're using as that backing point to actually have digital currency take over?
That that is a very amazing question, and I think that's one of the reasons why FCC haven't really fully backed it yet because of that exact fact. Um, the thing about crypto is that it it really like gold or the dollar, which we can print out unlimited amounts. Crypto doesn't really, other than just the blockchain and numbers sequenced together and things like that. um it doesn't really have that that backing like that, and I think that is what the FCC is trying to scramble to figure out how they can back this to make it our future. And I don't necessarily think that they have all the answers to it, because if they did, then they probably would have pushed it out or rolled it out by now. So I think we just really have to sit and wait to see how they're going to be able to legitimize this, by having some sort of backing with this crypto, some sort of leverage. And I think that's kind of what it boils down to. That's why it haven't really, the government haven't really jumped behind it the way that, I know that they could have. But they are most definitely working on it. I do know, and I wish I would have been able to invite a person. There's a person that I know that actually has a crypto firm. They market large companies, and they're starting to add this crypto to the portfolios of their retirement. Now, for them to be able to do that, I know that they have some type of, and I'm not a lawyer, they are, but they have to have some type of knowledge, or to start a crypto firm, or something that they know that we don't know, that is giving them the push for that. But I know it's on the rise. They are, there's more and more companies and firms and things like that are actually crypto firms that are looking to add this to a person's portfolio, like an employee. And I think that is very interesting. I think that it is, I think it's pretty promising from a standpoint of, just 10 years ago, we really didn't even know what crypto was. But I think that the progression of it is moving, quite rapidly. And they are talking about, I just looked this up the other day. They are talking about actually starting to back, the FCC is starting to actually back this, or it's in Congress right now. So it's most definitely going to be a thing that we're going to have to get used to. And I think they will eventually do away with the dollar. And, I don't know if I'm excited about it, but I think that this is something that we're most definitely getting ready to turn over to. So
Can I chime in really quickly?
Absolutely.
So do you, in my opinion, when it comes to the Bitcoin and the currency, weapon if, and it's a big if, something happened and we lose all communication, how are we supposed to get the money? That is my problem. Everybody want to do this, cryptocurrency. And my grandma would say, girl, you better put some money underneath your mattress, because there ain't no telling weapon if we don't have a way to even, electronics or anything like that. Then what?
Right, and you're absolutely right, and that is a very that is an amazing question, and I think that is one of the main reasons, Rose, why they haven't really fully backed it just yet, because there are some situations that I think it would be an issue if they were to fully go that way. And I think what they're trying to do now is trying to figure out how to incorporate this to where it would be fail proof. And
Right.
it most definitely it's in the works. They're most definitely really pushing this agenda of the crypto to do away with the dollar. And I guess it's to maybe have a world one world currency, I guess, is the ultimate goal. But it's most definitely something that we should look at, because a lot of times of things that I notice. Sometimes when things roll out, we are the last to get the information. We're the last to get the knowledge,
And that's true.
and that sometimes that pushes us back. It pushes us back, unfortunately. But this crypto, I can say, it's most definitely something that you don't want to put all of your eggs in, but you most definitely want to put some of your eggs there, because the earlier with certain things, the earlier you get in, the more beneficial it is for you. And a lot of times, we tend to say, well, you know what, I don't know much about this, so let me hold off on this, or let me not do it. And that most definitely was a mistake that I made with the crypto, because I was in it early. But because of the lack of understanding of it, I pulled out. And when I pulled out, it shot up so high that I just was kicking myself, because I'm like, you know what, I should have stayed. So um, it's something that, I totally agree with you. We don't know if something happened. That's kind of like with me, the way I feel about like a Tesla. I know this is off the subject, but people ask me all the time, even my kids, they're like, Daddy, won't you buy a Tesla? Won't you buy a Tesla? Won't you buy a Tesla? I said, no, I just can't get something that is fully electric. And if something happens, then I'm screwed. I can't move around. It's kind of like that with crypto. You want to jump into it, but you don't want to put all of your eggs in a basket. But I think now is a good time to get educated a little bit on it, because it most definitely can be a game changer for you.
And I definitely agree on that. And then just another fun fact as well. That's really it's actually been around. Like you said, there's a lot of things that we get caught on too late, and this is like actually one of those things. This is actually how like the banks make their money, while they're able to uh, reimburse people that lose millions of dollars, and this, that, and the third, because they have people who are successful, who have proven themselves to make a lot of successful trades, and have generated so much income through this market, that they actually hire them, and they lend their funds that they have in order to make more money. So yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of people
Yeah,
now are just catching on to it, to doing themselves, which is why they're trying to regulate it, because it's not just the banks now. Now everybody else is catching on and doing it too.
exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, and it's one of those things, guys. I think that personally, there's certain things that in life that may have missed, or we didn't catch on to, or where we could have took advantage of, and it would have been a game changer. There's a few things, like like even Amazon and Apple back in the day, when they first came out. This most definitely is one of those things that will be, and they have been, even with people that I personally know, it have been a game changer for individuals. And I don't think that it's too late to jump aboard with this. And I tell a lot of my clients this as well, because they ask these questions. They're like, well, should I invest in stocks, or should I invest in this, and should I invest in that? I say, well, absolutely, you can invest. You want to diversify, but you want to make sure that, the bulk of your money is somewhere safe. And
Exactly.
what I mean by, yeah, somewhere safe is like crypto would be more of a higher risk investment. So, I wouldn't dare tell anyone, hey, take your check and go put it all on crypto. But,
No.
if you do, if you have a little extra money lying around, this is one of the things that you want to put something aside for, because it most definitely will, it's going to jump. And as
Yeah.
soon as we hear something from, sometimes people have inside information. Oh, well, they're getting ready to approve this and approve that. It's always good to have your ear to the ground with these types of things. Because I know sometimes we get so caught up into life and just things going on, that these types of things we don't think about. But, it's always very important to have your ear to the ground on things like this, as like groundbreaking things. Even though, Prince, like you say, you were absolutely correct. It's been around. We just really didn't know about it. But, now that it's drawing, it's gaining attention, and it's gaining some momentum. I think that we all should look at this and say, hey, you know what, this might be a good opportunity for me, even if it's not that much. But I encourage anyone that is alive, to invest in some type of crypto for sure. Yes. So, anyone have any other inputs or any questions or anything? Is, does anyone have any feelings about crypto or any opinions about it or anything? Panel. Okay.
Like you had
All right.
mentioned, sorry, I was trying to get my mic to work. Or I was trying to get
No
the
worries.
screen pulled back up. I'm on my laptop, so it's taking some getting used to. But kind of like you were mentioning,
Okay.
I actually had the opportunity to get in on ground floor, like you said you did. And it sucks because also, like you did, I pulled out too soon. And I,
Yeah.
of course, kicked myself day in and day out for that crap. Now that I see it's
Yeah.
above 60.
Yes.
Now it's above 60
It,
grand. I'm like, oh, you moron.
yeah.
But you live
Yes.
and learn, of course.
You do. You do. And I do think that now, even though it's at 60, I think that it's still not really a bad time to put something in there because I have a feeling that it's going to get much, much higher at some point.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
think it's
and
gonna
so
drop. It's gonna drop first before it go up.
yeah, most definitely. I totally agree with you. I think it's going to drop. But I think it's going to get much higher than they're projecting 100,000 by the end of the year. I think that it's going to most definitely go up, you know, much higher than that. In my opinion, I just feel that. So that's just my 2 cents on that matter. You know, so. But mainly with my particular my jurisdiction and my job is I deal with a lot of retirement and a lot of managing of people money, and crypto is one of the things that I least deal with. But from a personal standpoint, I invest in it. But most definitely excuse me, my tongue, is most definitely one of the things that I don't really push to my clients, but I personally invest in crypto myself. So all right, anyone else have any feedback or any opinions or anything regarding crypto? Anyone? All righty, well guys, I want to give you guys a major thanks for listening in to my little chapter of crypto, and I hope that you guys, I hope that we're all able to put a little something in there and get something back, and the goal is to win, and I'll turn it back over to Miss Rose. Thank you, Miss Rose.
No problem. And it's not little. Learning about Bitcoin and all that is not little. Finance is never a little thing because we all need help with some way, shape, or form with finance. So thank you so much,
Thank
for
you.
this segment. No problem, my darling. Now moving on to the next, Mr. Christopher. Miss Katrina's supposed to do it with you. I don't see she obviously couldn't make it. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna do well. We're gonna move on to our next segment, which is motivation and inspiration.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm hoping you can actually hear me okay now. Hope everyone is enjoying the show thus far. I'm glad that you are all here with us. I'm not going to lie, though. Tonight's segment of inspiration motivation is going to be a little bit on the sad side instead of cheerful side like I normally am. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is because the other half of CNC Motivation and Inspiration Factory, Katrina, isn't with us, of course, like Rose has already mentioned. She apparently messaged and stated that she wouldn't be able to make it like she thought she was going to later on because her event ran even longer than she originally thought it was going to. So we send our love to her anyway, even though she's not with us. With that being said, once again this week, the members of CNC Motivation and Inspiration Factory, we were at it again. Like, of course, like all the time, we're all on the same wavelength. I swear, I'm seriously starting to think that Katrina and I either are telekinetically linked somehow, or we just share the same brain. Because we were thinking along the same lines, of course. This week's inspiration motivational segment is titled "Live Your Best Life Today."
We're moving.
Now, I mentioned that the segment was going to be a bit more sad than normal, or well, it was sad, more sad than cheerful like normal. And the second reason for that is because a friend of mine came into my job today while I was working, and keep in mind this is somebody I haven't seen probably at least a couple years. We actually were close once upon a time, but they ended up moving, yada yada. Long story short, they actually came into my job today, didn't know I was working there, so it was of course a shock to them too. And we got talking or whatever, and they informed me that they're actually dying. They said the doctors have basically called it some kind of viral cancer. They gave me the name for it, but I can't remember what it was. Of course, it's a technical term that I probably can't even pronounce anyways. But the issue is, because of it, there's nothing that'll help them. Like, it's basically a death sentence. Apparently, it attacks and basically destroys their organs, is what it does. He's now on his third pacemaker. And that's because basically, I can't remember if it was 40 or 60% of his heart isn't working. I can't remember which one. Plus, not to mention that it's now hitting his lungs and oh crap, where was the other one? I want to think he said liver, but I can't remember the other organ it's attacking now too. So basically, he's on extremely borrowed time at this point, and it's basically a matter of just whenever it finally, for lack of a better term here, does it, I guess. And with that being said, like I mentioned, it's live your best life today, and I know it's going to sound cliche, but for lack of a better term here, you only live once. So live each moment like it's your last. Because, like in his case, especially, you never know when your next one's going to be your last. You really don't. And that's whether you're in a situation like him or like us. We seem pretty healthy, I believe, and hopefully going to be here for years to come. But like I just mentioned, you never know. You really don't. No one knows, except God above, of course. But that's why I know me personally, after seeing him today, I've got to do it. I got to live my best life, no matter what. If not for me, at least for him, because he's not going to get the chance to. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not like super young. I think he's in his, don't quote me on this, I think late 40s, early 50s, maybe. Which, don't get me wrong, that's not old either, of course, but yeah, he's not going to get to live the rest of his life like we are. My opinion is not fair, but what can we do? Except keep going and live our best lives to our best and fullest potentials. Because there are those out there that don't get that opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was waiting for somebody to chime in. I was still like I was starting to ramble.
And I'm sorry, Christopher, but I'm listening. But who is this person again? I'm sorry.
Somebody I've known for years, and we basically lost touch
Okay.
over the years, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. They actually came into my store today while I was at work.
Oh, gotcha.
And we're
Okay,
telling him about it.
Wow. Okay. Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
I
Yes,
appreciate
I'm
it.
good. Yes, sir. All right.
What did you start to
Can I
say,
say
Rose?
something?
Oh, yes, Miss Cicely, go ahead.
Listen, I hear the brokenness in your voice. And listen, as long as he has life in his body, it's never too late. The Lord can do anything. He's a miracle worker. He's the same
You're right
yesterday,
there.
today, and forever. And so what
Heck, I'm proof of
we
that.
can do, listen, is speak life, because God can turn a thing around. All he has to do is breathe a breath over that young man, and his life can be
Mhm.
changed and he can be saved. And so we're going to believe that God will heal him. That is because it's God's desire, and it's talked about it in the word. It says healing is the children's bread. It's his desire that our soul prosper. We prosper even as our soul prosper. And so we can speak out. I decree and declare wholeness over this person, over your friend. And we can be praying for this person that God will shift, because he can do it. And he's a true and living God, and he can do all things. Nothing is too hard for him. As a matter of fact, they say it's easy for him to do it, right? And so we're just going to believe that for your friend. Because as long as he wakes up every morning, there's a room and there's space and there's opportunity for God to move and to show up. Okay? So be encouraged.
Amen to that. And it's not. I don't even know why I'm sad like I am. I didn't regularly figure it would hit me this hard. I guess it actually didn't hit me hard till just now for some reason. That he's not going to get his full life like most people do, I guess you could say. To be honest, I don't know why it's hitting me hard. I mean, like I said, we were kind of close once upon a time, but that was years ago. I don't know. It's weird. I guess it's just put reality and life into perspective for me that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us. I think that's more so what it is, if I'm being honest. And to be honest, I don't feel like I'm really living my best life because I eat, sleep, work, and school. I feel like a mindless robot, really.
Well, honey,
And then
don't feel bad. I feel like I sleep, kids, school, jobs, everything.
Yep. Agreed. Something's got to give. And also, if I'm being honest here, the new job, it was going good until they started. Basically, I found out that they lie to your face and they tell you this, that, and the third, trying to get you to join in and start working there. And the next thing you know, they don't hold true to the word on a lot of things. And I ain't gonna lie, it pisses me off. But that's
Oh,
neither here nor
wow.
there. That's a story for another time. But
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
yeah,
But let's get into I wanted to read some of the chat, what was said in the chat.
you're
Even
good.
Prince said the way maker, miracle worker, decision maker.
You're very right.
Yeah. I was just reading the chat on your story, you know. So I was just reading what Prince said in the chat.
You're fine.
You know, was you about to say something?
Oh no, you're good. Sorry. I was just
No,
saying
I
that
was,
you were fine with what you're saying.
yeah, I was just reading what he said. That's all. I just love that comment because that is the truth. I mean, he is a miracle worker, decision maker, all the above. So, and I see Miss Merle said, Christopher, be encouraged.
Very
I
much so.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel the same way. Did anyone else have anything to add or speak your mind? Floor is yours.
I would like to propose a new challenge, if you will, kind of like a while back. If you're not already, or if you feel like you're kind of stuck in a rut or hit a low or whatever, as Miss Muriel's words, I encourage you to keep pushing forward and try to do your best to get out of your rut and live your best life today, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Anybody possibly had words of encouragement to add to Miss Cicely already, and Miss Rose, and Miss Muriel already?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I was just asking if anybody else had any encouraging words that they'd like to share, like Miss Cicely and Miss Muriel did in chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anybody got any, you know, because usually y'all always have some encouraging words for us.
I know. I'm sorry.
Little
Like, to be
tongue-tied.
honest, I actually hope. Give me 2 seconds. Somebody fill in for 1 second. I will go back to mine and Katrina's chat. There was something I forgot. My apologies. I just gotta find it real quick. Oh. Actually, it's kind of funny because, like I said, we're always on the same wavelength, and her ideas were stepping out on faith and overcoming fears. Well, in order to live your best life, you've got to be able to do both of those.
Amen, Prince. Okay, we need to have the pastor on one day. That would be nice to have y'all pastor come on. I would love to meet him, to be honest.
Amen to that, Prince.
Yes,
That would be
yes.
awesome to have him on for an episode.
Well, again, thank you guys for tuning in, especially with our little technical difficulties and missing
Yes.
some of our dynamic seven, which was not here, but definitely here in spirit. I'm pretty sure to cheer us on, like always. Before we, let you guys go, definitely you can follow us on all platforms. Other than that, anybody has some last minute words? And like I said, encouragement. The floor is yours.
Yes, I do. I'm finally getting to a place where I can actually sit down. But yes, I do. I would like to have a few words, if you guys don't mind. Um, I would like to say that, I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties today, guys, but we still had an amazing show, and I really want to thank you guys for participating with us on this segment that we had. And as always, every time I listen to you guys, with your input and your opinions, I really think that it is amazing, and it's like really, really a positive thing, because we all think differently. Everyone thinks differently. So sometimes when you come together and share your thoughts and share your opinions and share these things with someone else, we just don't know what type of effect that it may have on that other person. So I just personally want to say, guys, thank you for your breadth and sharing your knowledge and your experience, and each and every one of you. And it's like I personally learn something every week, is even though I'm a member of the show, but I really appreciate everyone that takes the time out to join us, to talk to us. I think that you guys are amazing. So I just want to inject some positivity into our group, into our circle, and just let you guys know that you all are amazing. And, I really appreciate the times and our sessions and our talks. And I just pray that it goes up from here. And I know it will, but I'm just want to share that. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you all so much. You guys are very much so appreciated.
Aww.
Oh,
I
thanks,
love
Art.
it, mutual.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey.
And Mom, you said you had something?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I do. And it's interesting because I was just sitting at the table and what I kept hearing was being good stewards. And really just I really truly believe like what the Lord is really doing through each, because if you look at each segment that was talked about today, it's just like he's putting us in a place where maybe we're not, how can I put it? Like a maybe isolation, but not isolated, but it's a long time where it's just you and him, and you get the opportunity to really have a chance to get back to self, right? And so we would be, just do our due diligence and take that time, and we can be a good steward over everything that he has given us. If with our finances, being good stewards in our relationships, talking about how to love and things like that with ourselves and with other people. And so, and that's all I just kept hearing: good stewards, being good stewards. And so it doesn't always equate to money, but
Yeah, we go.
everything that we have, our gifts, our talents. And so we have to be good stewards. And just listen, you guys, take this opportunity and just hone in on those things. Because if we're going through a thing, that's because the Lord is highlighting that thing for us. And let's dig into it and seek him out and say, what is it that you want me to do in this season? What is it that you're trying to show me in this season, in this situation? So just to be encouraged is all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Lee. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, that actually hit home really hard. It really did.
I really did. I appreciate it. I
Yes,
definitely
thank
hear
you.
it. Uh,
Put
Lawrence,
things
your
into
your
perspective for
your
me.
mic is on.
Oh, I am so sorry, guys. Oh my God. My
It's
apologies.
okay. It's okay.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys.
We still got to hear, the word. We definitely still got to hear it, but it's okay. Mrs. Lee, as always, your you know your presence always makes me feel good. Even at the end of our segments, when you or your son comes and spread the word, it always just makes me feel a little bit better in a way. I'm hoping I'm making sense, but you like say when we get off right now, my spirits is up. If that makes total sense to you guys, so I definitely appreciate you too and commend you and everyone who has chimed in to hear us talk and hear all our opinions. Of course, it was nice to hear everyone opinions today on each segment. But other than that, I'm so happy and can't wait till next Sunday.
Agreed. And yes, you were making total sense, Rose. And y'all know me, like I do every week. I've made it a thing now to tell everyone, no matter what, always remember you are enough. You
Absolutely.
are
And
enough.
I totally agree. And Miss Cicely, I totally apologize because I really I'm just
Something
coming
I
into
actually
the
just looked at my computer and noticed, guys, this is actually episode 13. And a lot of people think that's unlucky, but me personally, I do not. I think it's good luck because my birthday is actually the 13th of the month.
Okay,
Not this
okay.
month, but of a month. Of a month.
13 is a good number for me. That's my football number.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's very new.
But yes, episode 13, guys.
I got you.
yeah. But yeah, absolutely.
All right, with that being said, thank you, wonderful panel of Dynamic 7. You're going to be missing our two, but we love you, Tori and Miss Katrina. Mwah. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And I can't wait till next time. See y'all.
See
And
y'all.
thank
Don't
you for all the
forget.
special guests that were tonight.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
go ahead,
Can't
Ruth.
forget about our
Go
guests.
ahead.
No, I was about to say that too. Thank our guests too for joining in through our technical difficulties today. But definitely keep tuning in. We got some big topics next week, and don't forget if y'all got any suggestions or any topics that y'all would like for us to go over, feel free to drop it in the future topic chat.
Yes, sir. Now you are in my head again. But
I
it's all
thought
right.
I did something to everybody. I did not. Did I not do that? I'm sorry.
You
if
did
I
earlier,
did.
but you're just talking about everybody that chimed in on the conversation or whatever.
That's
But
everybody.
right, we were just saying that they were our special guests though, like we had the other week. This was the ones we had this week.
Well, I want to thank every single one of everybody. I want to thank everybody.
Yep.
Yes,
Thank you as well,
thank you
Rose.
guys.
Thank you as well.
And
See
thank you as
y'all.
well, Miss Rose. Thank you as well, Miss Rose, for narrating
Have
us
a good night,
tonight.
Yeah,
guys.
Thank you
holding it
so
down.
much.
Until next week.
Yes,
Oh,
Until
thank you
next week.
so
you're
much.
welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome. I feel bad because last
absolutely.
Sunday I wasn't here. I was a little upset with myself. I was like, thank God that I wasn't here, so I had to make up because I missed you guys.
We missed you
We
too.
miss you too. We miss you too. And yeah, we held it
I
down
was
for
worried
you.
about you.
And Miss Cicely, we
Not gonna lie.
can't thank you enough, Miss Cicely. The energy that you bring to our D7
But
is
until next
almost
week,
like
guys.
we should call ourselves
Good night.
D8 because you are the glue that holds us together with your positive words, with your just your spirit and your
Yeah.
aura is just one. It's unmatched. And I just want to personally say thank you and God bless you. And I just pray that God just pour out his favor on you because you are an amazing soul, as well as the rest of our group as well. But I just wanted to tell you that, Miss Cicely, because we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much for that. I don't do it for myself. I really don't. I do it for the love of the Lord, and I do what He leads and tells me to do. And so, if it's encouraging you guys, then job well done, right?
Me too. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Your words are always
So,
encouraging, and so thank you
yeah,
again for that.
absolutely. Yes. So,
But that being said, see you all next Sunday. Again, follow us on all platforms and keep them suggestions going, which you want to talk about for the next segment. We definitely open to hear. Other than good night, everyone.
Catch y'all next week.
all righty. Good
Next
night,
week,
everyone.
same
Have a
time, same
blessed
bat channel.
week. Absolutely. Good night.